Welcome to United Network News, the official news channel for CARE, the Center for Amity and Restoration of Earth. I'm Sunny Galt. At UNN, you get the real news. Through our field messengers, we show you the truth about what's really taking place in our communities. We also bring you stories to help you remember who you are and why you're here, as well as regional stories that impact the people. And our World Situation Report reveals what's happening throughout the multiverse. We are here to restore Earth. In the U.S., it is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. We're headed out to sea in Cancun, Mexico, but it's not just for fun. These rowers are embracing an ancient tradition of the Mayan people. And in Maui, Hawaii, these old structures created a landing for local fishermen years ago. We'll give you a quick tour of this historic gem in Alaala. In the New Earth, we're discovering how the challenges we face today may be leading us to find our true purpose. And this innovative housing project in Texas is providing a community for people who were previously homeless.
This is Calen messenger for United Network News. Here's a look at today's field messenger reports from all around the world. The tradition of canoeing has been passed down for generations and is deeply rooted in the culture of the Yucatan Peninsula. UNN field messenger Abril provides further insights into this historic practice.
Hello, this is Abril reporting for UNN in Cancun, Mexico. Today I want to share with you something not everybody might know about this touristic paradise. In ancient times, the Mayan people who used to live here way before us and way before the Spanish colonies, they used to perform a ceremony of gratitude to the goddess of water and fertility, Ixchel, by rowing in group from the land to the nearby island of Cozumel, where they built her a temple to offer her flowers and gifts so she would protect them and bless them on their travels through the waters. Nowadays, the people of Cancun and Playa del Carmen and all the Mayan Riviera enjoy reviving this tradition to share just an amazing experience with friends and family, and to remember the sacred story of our land beyond its touristic attractive. Thank you very much, and hope you can live this experience next time you visit Cancun.
Next, we visit Alaala Landing, one of the most beautiful and unique places in Maui, Hawaii. UNN field messengers Shelly and Tammy take us on a journey to explore this special location.
Hi, we're field messengers. I'm Shelly.
I'm Tammy.
And we are here in Maui, and we are sharing our adventure with you. We are now at the Alaala Landing, and yeah, we're here. This is a really cool place. It's where they used to fish back in the day. There's a landing here that we'll show you as we walk down.
Filled with fruit
There's
trees.
fruit trees all over on the right, left, and then there's chickens all over here. Maui is an island of chickens, roosters, and we've seen some big fights too with the roosters. They don't, they tear it down. Anyways, yeah, so this is the landing here. It's beautiful. There's a lot of history here. So we're gonna walk down and we're gonna show you some of the old concrete buildings that are still here. There's star fruit on those trees. Over there, there's star fruit. So there's a lot of fruit here on those trees. And then the water's right there, of course. And so, yeah, they've done a lot of excavating here since last January I was here. They have cleaned it up a lot. So here's all of the old structures that are still here. It's a beautiful place. This little guy's about ready to get back in the water. He's been sunning for a while. There he goes. There you go, buddy. Yeah, woo! You did it. There he goes. There he goes.
Landing in the mornings and at night, people go out there to fish. And there's a place, you are right, that does weddings, and they take pictures out here on this pier as well.
Well, thank you for watching our little adventure here in Maui. Hope you enjoyed.
We want you to become a UNN field messenger. These are everyday people just like you who want to make a difference in their community. You don't need any special training or equipment. Just use the camera on your mobile phone and show us what's happening in your area. You send us your videos and our production team will create the report for you. For ideas and inspiration, we encourage you to join our new Field Messenger group on Telegram. Our new website is now up and running at unitednetwork.earth. You can submit your Field Messenger reports directly through the Field Messenger tab at the top of the page. You can also email your reports to our new email address at fieldmessenger@unitednetwork.earth.
Hello, I'm Susan from Sweden.
Wanda Michael from Eastern Uganda, Africa.
Hi, I'm Tim from Vancouver, Canada.
I'm Titeshwar Fagao from Manipur State, India. I'm Gumba Obasi from Southeast Nigeria.
Arnaito Chakrini from Western Uganda, Mbarara.
At United Network News, you are the news.
My name's Christina, Field Messenger, report first one in the hurricane down here in Southern California from Mexico.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. At UNN, our field messengers are changing the face of news.
This is Jason from United Network News. We're going to be doing some aircrete building with new technologies that allow us to live in comfort and also off the grid.
Take the next step in changing the way the world gets the news. Become a UNN field messenger today.
I am Michelle from South Africa, and we are the United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I'm United Network News.
If it is going to be, then it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
Si va a ser así, depende de mí. It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to me.
It's up to all of us. We're UNN.
Living in the new earth means leaving the old world behind. We're like caterpillars going into chrysalis, just waiting to emerge as butterflies. It's a huge transformation, which may present some challenges. Grace Gravestock is a transformation maverick. She's on a mission to redefine success and fulfillment, allowing people to resonate at their highest frequency. And according to Grace, those challenges we face will ultimately lead us to our purpose. So Grace is joining us today. And Grace, we're talking about the challenges that we have in life and how that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? This can lead us to our greater purpose, even though sometimes it's hard to go through those challenges, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have so much experience here.
I feel like I do too.
I think we all do. And that's the good news, Sunny, because challenges really can lead us to our purpose. And I know some people might be thinking, yeah, right, how is that even possible? Let me share with you three reasons why I think that is. Okay. The first one is that I've come to understand life happens for us, not to us. So when I went through a lot of personal change about 6 years ago, my ex-husband put a knife to my neck and I had to leave in a hurry. All kinds of drama was in my life, right? And I used to tell the story about how I was abused and bullied and all these different things. And it was like, poor me, poor me. What I realized in the end is that all of that happened for me, not to me, because once I understood what my life is about and what I'm really here for, I realized that all of that happened for me, for my benefit, so that I could grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes that's hard to come to terms with, right? Because we think we want life to be simple, but then to your point, if life is simple and you don't go through those hardships, how exactly do you learn? I'm not saying life has to be horrible, right? But it's through these experiences. And there's multiple times I look back on my life, I'm like, that was really hard to go through. But when you come out the other end, I'm like, now I know this, now I know this, now I know not to do this, right? And those things just kind of stack up, right?
So some of us are here to become experts in what not to do. And I'm not joking about that. So I like to look at life through the lens of human design. And maybe we'll talk about that in another episode. But besides life happening for us and not to us, I think that's one of the reasons why I talk about how change can be fun and easy if we recognize life is happening for us. And second of all, that the challenges are happening to help us to grow, like you said. And if we're not growing, we're dying. And change is the only thing that we know for sure, right? That's going to happen. I mean, people can argue about death and taxes. I can say for sure we will have challenges and they will help us grow. And that growth is what we're here for. You know, I believe that's what we kind of signed up for. And life would be boring, you know, if there was no challenges. So second of all, it helps us to grow. And then the third thing is I heard a speech one time called "Your Mess is Your Message." And at first I was perplexed, like, how is that even possible? And then I realized that when we go through challenges, what we do is become experts in that thing that we've struggled with. So for me, you know, it was bullying and abuse and all these things, which really were about me learning to stand in my power. And so when I understood my life purpose through the lens of human design, I realized that that mess, which was giving up my power all those years, actually was for the purpose of helping me to become an expert in empowerment and helping other people to stand in their power. But I had to first stand in my own power and take it back and stop giving it away. So my mess became my message. And that is how challenges can help us to find our purpose. Because that's when I realized that sharing those that growth journey and the things that I'd learned could help other people find shortcuts. And so mess becomes message and we become experts in our particular thing, which when we share it allows other people to shortcut that painful growth journey. And then it's a win-win because we've become, you know, we've been able to help others. We've been able to learn and grow ourselves. We've been able to reframe those challenges to see that life is happening for us and not to us, that the growth is what we're here for, and that we've become an expert in our thing, which when we share what we've learned, it helps other people. And so that can be very satisfying and meaningful when we share those experiences to help others.
Yeah, I think most people, if you're doing something that you love to do today, you know, for a career or whatever, I think for most people that usually stems from some sort of situation like this. You know, they learned, they grew. You know, I'm just thinking about people that now run different clinics or ways to help people, right? Or I struggled with this and now I help people do this. I know that's the case like in my own life and some side projects and stuff I work on, is that I struggled with this and now I don't want other people to have to struggle with this. There's an easier way to do it. You know, and I think that's where we get back to like our heart purpose or our life's purpose is, you know, helping others and being like, hey, this doesn't have to be as difficult as it seems. Let me help.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I'm so glad you said that, Sunny, because we do have a summit coming up, the Know Yourself Revolution Summit, knowyourselfrevolution.com. It's free, 21 days, and it's full of inspiring stories from successful entrepreneurs who have overcome challenges in order to find their purpose. What they realized, and you'll love it, all these stories are amazing. The heroes, we are our own hero, right? And we're on our hero or shero's journey. But each of those interviews will help really bring this home because each person talks about how the challenges they overcame led them to what is now their purpose work, which is both satisfying, fulfilling, and also lucrative. And they're in abundance now. So their mess became their message, and they're sharing it as a way to inspire others. So knowyourselfrevolution.com. Like I said, it's free. Check it out. I'd love to help everyone be inspired by those kind of stories and to see that life happens for us, not to us.
Love it. Community First Village is an innovative housing project located in Travis County, Texas, beyond Austin's city zoning laws, that has been actively addressing chronic homelessness. Funded by philanthropic efforts, it's set to become one of the largest of its kind in the country. Established in 2014 by the charity Mobile Loaves and Fishes, Community First Village provides affordable housing for formerly homeless individuals. It started with 100 RVs and 125 micro houses, along with communal facilities like gardens, beehives, playgrounds, parks, and kitchens. The residents pay a modest rent of $200 to $430 per month, many earning money through jobs in the village. The community has been expanding steadily. In 2022, work started on an adjacent site, planning to increase the tiny homes to 2,000. This growth is supported by architectural firms providing free design services for energy-efficient homes. Once complete, the village will house nearly 500 people, addressing about 40% of Austin's chronically homeless population as of 2019. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has approved federal housing vouchers to subsidize rents, making the project financially viable. The village's unique model, which operates on the principle of neighborhoods of knowingness, has inspired similar initiatives in cities nationwide. It offers residents the chance to heal, take up jobs, build skills, and lead a sustainable life. The Red Sea Global Landscape Nursery, located in Saudi Arabia, is an impressive project that aims to turn 100 hectares of barren desert into a lush green landscape. The nursery is home to 5 million plants, with an ambitious plan to expand this number to 30 million, some imported from as far as Thailand. The nursery's mission is twofold: to help turn local landscapes green and to provide jobs for local people, especially in the growing tourism sector. The plants nurtured here will add to the beauty of 2 sustainable tourism projects, both of which aim to conserve and enhance the natural environment. This project fosters economic growth by creating jobs and providing training through initiatives such as the Red Sea Vocational Program. The nursery has already hired 341 employees from various nationalities, promising that a minimum of 40% of its workforce will be Saudi nationals. Not limited to land-based initiatives, Red Sea Global has also ventured into the marine environment, launching 2 subsidiary brands focused on sustainable water sports and diving activities. This expansion has created an additional 250 jobs, introducing locals to the water sports industry for the first time. The nursery also promotes sustainability by using recycled water for irrigation and implementing biosecurity measures to keep disease and pests at bay. It's also committed to driving local industries forward by providing education and empowerment for future ventures, along with promoting gender equality. The success of this project is surpassing expectations, demonstrating that with determination, nothing is impossible. Bees, the tireless workers of the insect world, are indispensable to life on Earth. Their work in pollination makes them a vital species, impacting our lives and the world in many ways. They pollinate approximately 1/6 of the worldwide flowering plant species and about 400 types of agricultural plants. The pollination service provided by bees, along with other pollinators, was estimated to be worth around $20 billion to agriculture in the U.S. alone. Without bees, our diets would be vastly different, as 1/3 of everything we eat is dependent on their pollination. Bees are diverse, with approximately 25,000 species worldwide. The most well-known family include honeybees, carpenter bees, and bumblebees. All these species are expert pollinators. They have specialized adaptations such as stiff hairs and pockets on their legs for efficient collection and transportation of pollen. Apart from pollinating our food crops, bees also, of course, produce honey. In its lifetime, a bee will produce only about 1/12 of a teaspoon of this precious liquid. Honey is made by bees regurgitating nectar and passing it back and forth in their mouths before depositing it and sealing it in a honeycomb. Bet you didn't know that. Bees also contribute to the beauty of our planet by pollinating flowers, enabling floral growth, and creating essential habitats for other animals, insects, and birds. Bees are easily amongst Earth's most crucial insects. We owe them our gratitude for their invaluable services, from providing our favorite fruits and vegetables and honey to enhancing our world with beautiful blooms. Want to share news from UNN with your friends and family? Memes are a great way to get that conversation going. And here's today's UNN meme of the day. It says, everything is intention, manifest your reality. Remember, you are a co-creator with God or source. Nothing is holding you back from creating the life you've always wanted. So set your intention and make it happen. To see more memes just like this one, follow our Meme Team Telegram channel at UNN Memes. Share them on Telegram and any other social media channels where you still have an account. Welcome to United Network News. I'm Sunny Galt.
Connect with United Network News online. The news portion of our website at unitednetwork.earth recaps the biggest stories impacting our planet. You can also watch inspiring videos from our field messengers and get great tips for creating your own field messenger reports. Easily share all of this content with your friends in just a few clicks, including our social media memes designed to ignite conversation and critical thinking. It's time to restore our home. Let's make history together at unitednetwork.earth.
Now, a look at regional stories around the world. Truck drivers and farmers are taking a stance in Romania, leading to several blockades and traffic delays. The birth rate in France is at a historic low, down 20% in the last 4 years. The Dominican Republic is testing the idea of a 4-day work week, giving workers a day off on Friday. And fewer people in China are choosing to say, I do. Find out what's causing the increased pressure and hesitation. Romanian truck drivers and farmers have been protesting for more than a week, disrupting traffic and causing disturbances across the country. The protesters are seeking lower taxes, faster subsidy payments, and compensation for import-related losses, amongst other demands. Despite the Prime Minister's attempt for urgent legislation and ongoing negotiations, no resolution has been reached yet. The demonstrations, which have been led to temporary blockades at the Ukrainian border, are causing travel delays and inconveniences for the public. Following an inconclusive meeting on Monday, the Alliance for Agriculture and Cooperation presented a document listing 15 demands to the Agricultural Ministry. The unrest has prompted the National Traffic Police to advise drivers to avoid protest areas to help alleviate traffic. In an attempt to confront the rising cost of living, Greece has introduced measures to reduce prices on basic commodities, including food, baby, and household products. This initiative, which includes a 7% cap on profits for baby milk powder producers, is scheduled to take effect in March. The move aims to combat almost 9% food inflation experienced at the close of 2023. However, citizens express doubt that these measures will lead to a notable decline in prices. The Prime Minister has criticized multinational companies and suppliers for exploiting high inflation rates. In recent months, the Greek authorities have issued fines of up to 1 million euros or $1.09 million on international firms that violated mandated profit caps. UK drivers are facing record-breaking car insurance costs, with average prices climbing to approximately £1,000 or almost $1,300. This follows last year's surge of more than 50%. The price hike has placed car insurance beyond the reach of many, especially those with recent claims. The rise has also contributed to inflation, which reached a 40-year high last year. Young drivers ages 17 to 20 have seen their premiums double in the past year, and 18-year-olds now pay more than £3,000 or almost $1,800 for the first time. London remains the most expensive region for car insurance. Drivers are advised to increase security, review mileage, adjust their excess, and shop around to seek the most affordable car insurance options. In Norway, the leading regulatory authority has recommended a 2-year halt on overseas adoptions while investigations into alleged illegal cases take place. This move has potentially significant implications for families in the early stages of the adoption process, who may only proceed after an agency evaluation. Denmark's only adoption agency, Danish International Adoption, is stopping its international operations due to concerns of fraudulent practices, potentially affecting numerous families worldwide. This has raised serious concerns for several families in Europe, the U.S., and Australia who have adopted children from abroad. They claim instances of fraud, such as false abandoned orphan registrations for babies with living relatives in their native lands. Sweden's only adoption agency also suspended adoptions from South Korea on the back of allegations of falsification of children's origin documents. France has announced plans to reform parental leave, offering improved pay. Birth rates in France have decreased from 20% since 2020, with only 678,000 births registered in 2023. Despite traditionally strong demographics, France's average number of children per mother has declined to a 30-year low of 1.68, impacting long-term economic growth and pension deficit plans. The current system allows parents to take additional parental leave for up to 1 year, with the possibility of 2 renewals. However, the modest monthly allowance, slightly more than 400 euros or $500, has been a source of worry for many and is seen as a barrier keeping mothers out of the workforce for extended periods. A recent poll reveals many desire to have children, but are deterred by concerns over economic and social stability, along with the high cost of raising children. Teens in the UK seem to be less concerned about the world's so-called climate crisis. Say that 5 times fast. A 2023 survey found that 37% of heavy social media users ages 13 to 17 believe climate change impacts are purposely exaggerated. Recent research reveals an increase in what is termed as new denial climate narratives on YouTube, a platform heavily used by teenagers. YouTube is the preferred social media platform amongst American teens, with 71% using it daily and 16% almost constantly. The research, based on the analysis of more than 12,000 YouTube videos, states that these narratives now comprise 70% of all climate denial content, up from 35% in 2018. These narratives argue against the effectiveness of climate solutions, portray climate science as unreliable, and downplay the impacts of global warming. Google, YouTube's parent company, initiated steps to discourage such content in 2021 by banning ads and monetizations of these videos. Venezuela has announced a significant increase in the monthly minimum wage by more than 40%. This includes a $60 supplement and $40 food stamps, in addition to the existing base salary of less than $4. The change is a significant boost in real terms, as the country has adopted the U.S. dollar to combat hyperinflation. This wage increase comes amidst growing protests by public workers, including teachers demanding higher pay. Despite the announced increase, the Teachers Federation argues that wages need to rise 25 times to more than $550 monthly for workers to afford basic commodities. In Brazil, the school meals program is setting ambitious goals, not just for child nutrition, but also for sustainable farming and economic growth. Sao Paulo intends to source all school food supplies from sustainable farming by 2026 and serve 100% organic meals by 2030. This strategy provides healthy meals to students and supports small-scale farmers and local suppliers. Parents are being employed to maintain the school gardens, fostering a sense of community involvement. The schools nurture healthy eating habits through experimental kitchens, where children learn to cook with fresh produce. Despite initial hesitations, students have reported enjoying a wider variety of fruits and vegetables. However, the increasing prices of olive oil have led to a surge in counterfeit olive oil, implicating dishonest restaurants willing to compromise on food quality to save costs. The Dominican Republic is set to test a voluntary 4-day workweek plan, with workers' salaries remaining unaffected. Launching in February, the pilot program will cut the typical 44-hour workweek to 36 hours, with Fridays off. The initiative is expected to contribute to employee well-being and promote environmentally sustainable productivity. Workers from a variety of sectors, including telecommunications, power, heavy equipment, and the Public Health Insurance Agency, are set to participate. The plan's impact on employees' health and work-life balance will be evaluated by a local university. This shift mirrors similar successful trials in the UK and the increasing adoption of shorter work weeks in the US. Overdraft fees, a source of frustration for many American bank customers, especially those from low-income households and minority groups, are in line for an overhaul. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is set to introduce regulations to curb these fees, which can run as high as $39 per instance. Research reveals that 91% of accounts still deal with these charges, with an average fee of around $26 in 2023. Households making less than $65,000 with Black and Latino households are more likely to encounter overdrafts than white households. Despite big banks reducing overdraft fees, smaller banks and some credit unions remain reliant on them for profitability. The proposed regulations are expected to focus on when and how much banks can charge for overdrafts, taking into account the bank's risk in covering routine purchases for their customers. Restaurant Brands International, the parent company of Burger King, is buying out Carrols Restaurant Group, its biggest franchisee in the U.S., for about $1 billion. This move will have a direct impact on more than 1,000 Burger King locations across 23 states. Plans are in place to invest approximately $500 million to remodel about 600 of the acquired locations, promising a more modern and competitive dining experience for customers. This investment, funded by Carrols' operating cash flow, aims to catch up with rivals like McDonald's, who have already invested billions in modernization. The completion of this plan is expected to take 5 to 7 years. Meanwhile, customers can expect to see digital menu boards, new kitchen equipment, and improved drive-through and mobile order facilities. The deal, pending approvals, is slated to close in the second quarter. Music streaming data from 2023 reveals a significant shift in listener preferences for those in the U.S., with a steady decline in English language content and increasing interest in non-English genres. This trend is primarily driven by younger listeners, notably Gen Z and millennials, who are seeking fresh cultural experiences and perspectives in their music choices. The Spanish language, propelled by the rising Latin genre, is the second most popular choice, even as Japanese language music is gaining traction. The Gen Z demographic forms the majority of the J-pop fan base in the U.S., indicating a preference for multilingual music. Similarly, Afrobeats, which saw a 26.2% rise in popularity last year, has found a strong listener base in Europe. Despite the surge in diverse music consumption, English remains the top language for global tracks, accounting for 54.9% in 2023. Nigeria's largest oil refinery has started producing diesel and aviation fuel, a move that could lead to a shift in the region's reliance on imported petroleum products. Despite being a top oil producer, Nigeria has been importing refined petroleum due to underperforming state-run refineries. Located in Lagos, the $19 billion refinery is expected to meet 100% of Nigeria's fuel needs when operating at full capacity. Additionally, 40% of the refinery's output will be available for export. The refinery could also have a significant impact on consumer gas prices, which have tripled since the government ended subsidies last year. However, analysts warn the effect on prices will depend on various factors, including crude oil costs and the local currency's exchange rate. While the refinery is a significant step towards energy self-reliance, it could take months to function at full capacity. Shell Corporation has agreed to sell its onshore business in Nigeria's Niger Delta to a consortium known as Renaissance for $2.4 billion. The sale includes 15 mining leases and 3 shallow water operations. The deal is part of Shell's strategy to limit exposure in Nigeria due to decades-long complaints about environmental pollution from oil production. Local activists concerned about the environmental impact are requesting the government to withhold approval of the sale until Shell addresses the environmental damage. They argue that pollution from oil and gas production has affected the local population, limiting access to clean water and impacting farming and fishing activities. Shell stated that it intends to conduct any necessary remediation for past spills. The finalization of this deal still requires governmental approval. The Central Bank of Nigeria has dismissed the boards and management of Union Bank, Keystone Bank, and Polaris Bank due to regulatory noncompliance and governance failures. This sudden change could potentially affect the services provided to the bank's customers. The announcement comes as the banking sector prepares for a regulatory-induced capital increase. This move is part of an effort to strengthen Nigeria's economic growth. Union Bank, recently sold to privately held Titan Trust Bank, was under the leadership of former central bank governor, who is currently under investigation for allegations of fraud. This dismissal may be tied to the investigation's outcomes, potentially causing concern amongst the bank's clients about the stability of their investments. Tokyo residents are adapting to rising food prices by embracing inexpensive meals. A surge in costs due to the Ukraine conflict, supply chain problems, and the COVID pandemic has led households to budget more strictly. Workers in conventional office settings commonly opt for lunch venues close to their places of work and are increasingly selecting more affordable alternatives. A recent survey revealed that nearly half of office workers ages 20 to 50 spent less than 500 yen or $3.40 daily on lunch. This trend includes those preparing their meals and a significant 22.6% opting for a one-coin lunch. Another study disclosed that approximately 40% of both male and female office workers have reduced lunch spending, with 70% foregoing favorite dishes to save some money. Despite the low cost, meals are providing value for money and sufficient portions to last until dinner. The economic downturn in China is causing many young people in the nation to reconsider their plans for marriage. The costs associated with marriage, particularly in major cities, are leading to increased pressure and hesitation. High unemployment rates amongst young people and low consumer confidence are additional factors contributing to this trend. As a result, there was a record decrease in marriage registrations in 2022. The low marriage rates indirectly impact the nation's already low fertility rate and contribute to an aging population. Governmental attempts to reverse the trend through financial incentives for marriage and family creation have proven insufficient. Many individuals, especially those ages 35 and older, have put aside the idea of marriage due to the current economic and social conditions. Even those who wish to marry are finding it difficult due to the high housing costs, bleak job prospects, and the overall economic landscape. Want the latest updates from UNN? Be sure to follow our channel on Telegram called United Network News Channel. This is our official Telegram channel, and it's where you'll find direct links to our newscasts and our in-depth field messenger reports. And we would also like to introduce you to CARE's newly ratified Health and Wellness Department. You can connect with the Center for Health and Wellness of Earth, or CHWE community, by joining the Telegram channel. Simply search for Center for Health Wellness of Earth and join the conversation today. And now, the World Situation Report with Kimberly Gogan from the Office of the Guardian. Late last night, Chinese deep state declared war on all of humanity and ground command. The legions, the coalition, the enforcer, and ground command retaliated. The deep state was hoping for a windfall after the declaration of war, and the opposite happened. Find out more in today's report. As of Monday, the financial system has changed forever. A debt-based system using humans as collateral is gone. Welcome to a gold-backed asset-based system. Gogan with the Office of the Guardian. Hello, Kim.
Hello, Miss Sunny. Today, happy Wednesday. I'm like, what day is today? Hold on. We have a lot to talk about today. It has been a busy 48 hours, so brace yourself here. I am aware, as all of you are, about the talks that they were going to launch Disease X today at the World Economic Forum. Now, this was a very real situation that presented itself yesterday. And I'll tell you exactly how it worked out. China has been sending out, this is China, per the order of China's deep state, out ships with cargo, and the cargo contained canteens or canisters of Disease X. And they intended on spreading this all around the world. Now, why no one, and I mean no one, not the U.S. military, not anybody else's military, questioned why there were so many ships coming from China on the borders, right offshore, actually. So let me give you the locations of all these ships that are no longer there. 171 on the west coast of China. West coast of USA. 68 on the east coast of the United States, 14 in the Gulf, 14 on the west side of Mexico, 18 on the east side of Mexico. The southern tip, I should say, of Brazil, right around the area of Brazil and Uruguay, there were 21 ships. Off the coast of Peru, 49. Off the coast of Nova Scotia, 24. In the Persian Gulf, off the coast of Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, there were 6. In the English Channel between France and the UK, there were 5. East coast of South Africa, 29. The Black Sea, 18 in the sea, and 14 had already arrived at the port in Ukraine.
Wow.
China. Let's talk about China. In the area around the Three Gorges Dam, there are several mountains. You wouldn't call some of them are not large mountains, but they are mountains. In those mountains was the source of everything that was contained in those canisters. And why was everybody so concerned, on social media about a year or so ago about something happening with the Three Gorges Dam in China? And the Q report, was reporting, look at watch the water, look at the Three Gorges Dam sits on one of the largest rivers in all of China called the Yangtze River, also called the Yellow River. If that had actually happened, there were almost 2 million pools of this that would have flooded throughout the country.
Wow.
So the slight, and I'm going to call it slight because it is compared to what could have happened, uptick in Disease X in China right now, was just a test. They have no regard for their own citizens over there. They don't care who they make sick, as long as, their XXX program, is pulled off. Between Finland and Russia, there were 27 ships. Off the coast of Japan, 32. The east side of India in the Bengal Bay, all the way through to Malaysia, 49 additional ones. In Australia, there were about 16 and 2 located offshore in New Zealand. So they really had intended on killing us all today. God bless them. And I'll tell you about the events to come. Now, last night, China's deep state declared war against humanity and me. I'm also part of humanity, but okay. And that's because of the facility in China no longer being around. The enforcer took care of that facility, the large facility around Three Gorges Dam, and we took care of all the ships. We also had, after our news on Monday, we also had an uprising of an army, about maybe 12,000 or so strong, if not more, coming from the scholars in Iraq. Well, the scholars in Iraq are actually on our side. Right. So what they have done is they have formed their own intricate network over the years to eventually go against what they consider to be the false prophets and those following the false prophets. So this is like their private little army that came to light, and as there was a call to arms on Monday. So they began pushing back against the deep state, and not only Iraq, but also in Syria, in the Gaza Strip, in the entire region. China has pushed back through their business partners, such as the Taliban, and their Green Dragon contacts in Iran. And there has been a few skirmishes over the last 48 hours due to this. Once we traced back where the orders were coming from, it was abundantly clear on what's to do next. And this happened overnight. So in the course of declaring war against all of humanity and myself, they have decided to issue 2 contracts out on me last night, and I'm aware of it. What a contract is, it's a contract out for either assassination or some kind of task that would be used against me in some way. They were offering $10 million for capture and containment of me. Additionally, if they managed to deliver me to China, to them, which is what they preferred, the price for that would be $100 million. Now, I suspect they did this because they were expecting a windfall today based on the fact that they filed for several different types of declaration of war last night, all of which were rejected. Do I want to declare war against myself? Probably not. I don't, probably not. Do I want there to be a war against all of humanity? Probably not. But as of around 2 or 3 o'clock this morning, my time, about 2:30, 2:45, we actually declared war officially against the deep state. And by deep state, I'm not talking about presidents and heads of state and military people or any of these people. We are talking about the Merovingian bloodline. We are talking about the Cain bloodline. Now, it's every man for himself. So what does that mean? If you were the one and you participated in giving orders to spread disease X throughout the world, you are now dead, and so on and so forth. Now, there are other people that happen to be of these bloodlines that are not participating in any of this. It's all about the intent. Okay. So by 4 a.m. this morning, my time, there was a meeting between myself, the coalitions, the legions, and the enforcer, where we discussed a plan forward on how we were going to do this. The plans were laid out. I'm sorry, but I can't disclose the intricate details of said plan on the internet at this time because it is in process. And then everybody began dispersing to their respective locations to perform their respective tasks underneath this war. Now, so for my part, I have sent out a message to every military and every agency in the world. I no longer care to do business with these people as a whole. I'm sorry, I just don't. At this point, it was a warning. It was a warning shot over the bow. I have explained to them that there is a war. And it was declared this morning. I explained to them that it's every man for himself or herself. In other words, if you participate with China's orders, China's deep state, the Lee family, the Rothschild family, or anyone else, the order of any dragon, color, insert color here, if you participate against humanity and or myself, you will no longer breathe. There is no trial for treason. There is no cease and desist. We ordered them to immediately stand down because they were still going at it. You don't stand down, there will be consequences, and I use the term repeatedly, extreme prejudice. You know, I gave them orders about what's going on in the Middle East, orders about, you know, what's happening in Russia and Ukraine right now, you know, orders regarding, obviously, Israel and the Gaza Strip, and every single one of them got it. It was on a diplomatic line, therefore it's recorded in the Hall of Records. So if you happen to not be at work today, maybe you've got the flu or disease X or something, you know, and you're in China, then you can go to the Hall of Records and you can get your copy from your local archivist because it's recorded. There's no excuses here, no deny, reassess, blame. I know how the game works. I'm not playing with you anymore. By the time that this war is done, there will be no more infiltration of the deep state in any organization worldwide. Now, people will say, oh, the governments, oh, you know, get the politicians. I've heard all of these stories from you. But again, I'm going to repeat myself. They are actors in a movie. They are actors in a movie. They may be arrogant, rude, disgusting humans in some cases, as we've seen in videos that have circulated around the internet from politicians, not only from the United States, but from China to Russia to the Middle East. We've seen it all. You know, we know the rituals. We know what happens. But right now, it's going to stop at the operative level. Because the operatives are the ones that provide them with the children. The operatives are the ones that arrange for all the deals that are being made. Davos here is no exception. Operatives at Davos are in for a real treat today and have been in for a real treat. So there is no backing down now. There is no going backwards. And there was a second part to this that happened. Remember, under the declaration that happened a few months back of us being under global martial law, the Global Intelligence Agency is the administrator. Now, what does that mean? That means we are the ones that will handle the war on our side. That means we are responsible for the weapons. We are responsible for all commerce related to war. So, what China's deep state and Langley 5 and all the agencies and the Treasury departments thought would happen last night when China declared war is they thought they were all getting paid. Sorry to be yelling, but I'm just like, this is so ridiculous. But what happened was exactly the opposite. The Global Intelligence Agency got paid, with myself as the director of the Global Intelligence Agency. Enormous amounts of cash came flooding into an account in the front office, and everybody saw it, for me, not you. Because I'm the administrator. Now, what happened after that is they tried calling every contact they know that could reach out to me. Tried to get me to turn it over to them. They should be in charge of all of the operatives. I know. The 15 militaries took up shop underneath in the old facility that hasn't functioned in forever, underneath Wells Fargo Bank in San Francisco, and tried to, it's called screen scraping, to try to use the account as collateral, issue a letter of credit, do anything and everything against the account, to the point where I finally just had to hide it.
Yeah.
It's still there. I just have it hidden at the moment because these people are crazy. Mm-hmm. The old things that they used to do not work anymore. Further to that effect, some other, I have to think of a nice word here because I'm so frustrated with these people this morning. It's beyond all recognition here. So these Trump operatives tried to install Trump bucks off the Global Intelligence Agency money this morning. And then they made a phone call to someone who knows me. And then when they couldn't do it, they asked for permission. Can you call her and get her permission? No, you cannot have it. I don't care if Jesus comes down from the sky and tries to offer me something. Sorry, phone rang. Phone's been ringing off the hook this morning. No. You made your bed, you lie in it. I don't care who you promised what. I know the Ukraine administration and president, they all have Trump bucks. The ex-KGB in Ukraine all has Trump bucks, and they've been waiting to cash them in. Well, you're going to have to deal with it and figure it out. You better sell some more Christmas ornaments and jackets. That's all I got to say for you. All right, next. Now the good news.
Okay.
On Monday afternoon, we successfully completed the gold backing, and I'm going to have to try to explain this because I don't have my whiteboard, obviously today I didn't have time, hopefully Friday. The gold backing of the entire financial system.
Okay.
What this means is at the highest level in the financial system and in all systems worldwide, we had at one point in time back in the day, we had Alpha and Omega. Omega was the dark system, Alpha was the light system. So if you're new here, let me just clarify that. The Alpha system was always the giver of all energy, and that never ended. The Omega system became the ultimate lender for the entire financial system. Therefore, everyone that participated in the financial system, directly and indirectly, was indebted to the Omega system. And this is how we got all those bindings that I talked about last week. Now, what has changed is you are no longer human collateral to support a deep state financial system. By replacing you in the system with the veins of gold and earth, we are now able to, and we're finishing still, there's a few things in the way here, so don't everybody get too excited. We are now able to conduct energy directly from source, consciousness, and essence to not only your human, but also within the monetary system. Over time, and it's going to take, I don't know how long, my guess would be a few days, you will actually no longer be under threat for 5G weapons and frequency weapons because they simply won't work in the telecommunication system of Earth.
Wow. Okay.
So there's a lot of things. I just wanted to point out the benefits of having a gold-backed planet, where that are used as a conductor, not so much as collateral. You know, the old QFS people started talking about it. The non-existent QFS people, to be honest with you, started talking about a gold-backed currency. That's not what this is about. By using all of the gold in Earth to back all electronics worldwide, and not you and your energy, because the Omega system doesn't create anything. It only draws energy from us good little batteries. All humans are batteries. And then uses it to run. So it cannot function. This is what true free energy looks like, in a negative way and both in a positive way. Over time, this should actually allow for a different electric system of Earth. Different modes of transportation, gravitational changes. There are positive things that will come to you personally as these reconnections are established. The bindings that were on you prevented you from doing a lot of these things, and also from receiving real, unencumbered, non-altered source energy directly, also known as money. Now, what people, and I'm saying people like people at the Treasury Department, people at Langley 5, people within any financial system, banks or otherwise, were very confused about by Monday afternoon around 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is, where are all the debt instruments going? What happened here? So on a government level, they were seeing all of these IOUs we've been talking about now for months that are coming from the government to pay its bills. They saw them all go away. They're not an asset anymore. Because the way a government issues bonds, I know in some cases it looks like they are against the good faith of the U.S. government. But it's not. It's because each government took ownership of their portion of the collateral, aka its citizens. So for that reason, they were issuing bonds against the base root bonds that have existed for thousands of years. When that collateral was changed out, all of the bonds started just leaving the system and all their derivatives from them. Now, what does this mean to you? I don't want you to be confused, okay? Eventually, this will mean that your car loan or your mortgage is not an asset to the bank anymore. The reprogramming, which we were doing this morning, because this is still an ongoing process here of cleanup, the reprogramming of payment systems and how they function in an asset-based system. So the base coding of the entire financial system worldwide is changing. This morning we were also working on the master encryption keys, not only for banking systems and security certificates, but also for the internet worldwide based platform, and also for the telecommunications based platform. So if you go into your phone and you look at security certificates, you'll see people in there from China and Japan and all kinds of different places. Entrust is another big one that was owned by the Clintons. That's where all those things come from, which gives them backdoor access to your phone, to your communications. So those platforms have all begun to change over to the key integrated monetary system, encryption system, and security certificate system, and the key integrated media system, encryption systems. So that means that they won't have backdoors to your phones and so on and so forth.
Is now, this thing, Kim, go for, I can't remember if it was Monday or when we were talking about, like, our refrigerator can see us. So there's all these different ways they can see us in our home. Is that related to that as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. These systems are being broken down because they're not needed. They're not necessary.
Good.
It also is things like what we call a hit list or a blacklist, where, all of a sudden your bank account closes and you really don't know why, and they don't tell you why. They just say they're going to close it because you're a citizen that might be going against the system. It changes that. That's no longer there. Several other changes as far as payment restrictions. There are accounts that will only permit so much money into them and that kind of thing. And then also people are capped. There is a glass ceiling, or was a glass ceiling, to what you could or could not do if you weren't part of the good old boys club.
Oh, see, I never got close to that ceiling. So
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get up there pretty high, to hit that glass ceiling where you're either invited to be a member or you're tossed out, or you end up with a CIA handler unbeknownst to yourself that could take you out at any time, you and your company. So, yes. So there's a lot of positive changes that are taking place now financially, telecommunications-wise, surveillance-wise, worldwide. This also goes for the TV programs where you're sent the underlying frequencies and those types of things. The old media trust programs are going away. So it takes a little while to reverse out all that Omega had done and had inserted into our worldwide systems, but it's coming along just fine. The gold has been helping a lot, and we're just merely picking off things that don't need to be here anymore.
Can this, Kim, also impact like censorship, like if it's due to algorithms and things like that? You were mentioning media and things online, so that's
yes
by this as well.
Yes, they use master encryption keys. So encryption keys in computer systems look almost like let's call it a Christmas tree. Okay. So at the top you have the star.
Yeah.
And if you have the star, which is the base root encryption key for the entire internet, say, like, for example, like the NSA would have had and the CIA would have had, then you had access to all the branches and everything underneath it, which would be like your end trusts and all the other security certificate providers, VeriSign, you name it, anything that you would see as a double verification, bank codes, they would have had backdoor access to all of it. Mm-hmm. Any platform you would see as encrypted, Apple Pay, you name it. Once those were pulled at the top, it takes a little while to replicate them and take out the back doors, on down the food chain. But yes, this is how they accessed your refrigerator and your television set. And all of these things had master encryption keys and security certificates. Your router, your Wi-Fi problems. Notice how we're not having any problems today like we had on Monday. There's Sunny.
I know. It's so true. We haven't had any of that today.
Monday was a nightmare trying to record the news.
Yep.
Today it's smooth as glass.
Yeah.
And that's not just because my face is not on camera. I didn't break the camera, I promise.
Oh, you didn't.
But, it is getting better and better on our side and worse for them. So I know everybody gets very anxious, especially our American friends. You can't just go through a drive-through and order the elimination of the deep state, and then 5 minutes later they hand you your receipt and say thank you for your purchase. It doesn't work that way. This takes all hands on deck, all boots on the ground to make it happen. And they are going full force. The enforcer has been everywhere today. We have the Sky Command in full force based on, let's just say, a strategy that we had devised in the morning. The people, I don't even know if they lasted 5 minutes underneath Wells Fargo today. That didn't work out. So we are on it worldwide. They are on it. We are on it. I'm doing my part. They're doing their part. and we're working together to make it all happen. But the declaration of war against us last night, that was it.
Yeah.
You hit the done button there. So war you asked for, war you've got it.
And how long, I mean, it's war, I get it, right? But we obviously have a lot of support. So how long do you think this would last? This is a very short-term thing because there's so many beings helping us in this process?
Define short-term.
Yeah.
They've been torturing us for thousands of years. Define short. I'm hoping, I'm an American too. I'm hoping that by the end of the day, everything would be rosy. But I can't say that is the case. So I will keep you updated between now and Friday as to everyone's progress. And when the war is finally over and the flags are down. But as of right now, we keep adding people to the list.
Yeah.
Because, they make poor life choices.
And do you think this is going to impact like the on the ground wars and stuff that we're seeing as well? Like, I mean, are we aiming for stop all of it? Stop Israel, Gaza, stop Ukraine, Russia, stop. Lay down your weapons, you're done.
Yes. That the orders to stand down went out this morning. If you do not stand down and you continue to order strikes and missile strikes and everything else, you will be terminated. You personally and the person that told you to do it. So I highly suggest you rethink what you're going to do and make better life choices so that you'll continue to exist.
I feel like this is the last stand. This is the final stand.
Well, there's a lot of people also being targeted for treason. This is what they're doing on their side. We don't target. If you're targeted, you're a target. As an example, Blinken is now currently has elected to go into a safe house in Davos. And it's not going to help you any.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing safe. You are on planet Earth. You are not safe. We can get you anywhere. So that is the current update in the state of the world. I know it's kind of a short report today, but as you can tell, I'm probably a little bit busy.
A lot going on.
Which is why I didn't make it to see you today or for you to see me today. There's a lot of work to do in the next couple of days. And this all started, like I said, between 2 and 3 o'clock this morning, my time. But it's going very well.
Good.
Zero tolerance and extreme prejudice.
I know there's a lot of people out there going, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Let's get that show on the road.
Yeah, we're not
restoration to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? It was a line from a movie somewhere. We don't negotiate with terrorists. The United States doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Did you see that movie? What was it?
I don't know what movie it was. That's been in my house a lot. My husband.
One with the woman president at the end.
Woman president.
Yeah.
Not House of Cards. You're not thinking of House of Cards.
No.
Glenn Close?
No. Charlize Theron is in it.
Oh. I don't know. Someone will tell us in the threads.
Yeah, someone will tell us. Someone will fill us in. Yeah. But yeah, she ends up going out to a party with her friend there in the movie, and they have a little bit of something at a party, and she comes back and she tells I think it was Iran or something. She's the Secretary of State at the time, and she comes back in and she says, "We don't negotiate with presidents," but she's a little tipsy, so she goes, "But we do negotiate with our homies." It's funny. It's a great movie. The Long Shot. I think it's called The Long Shot.
Oh, The Long
Great
Shot.
movie. It's really funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, well, the Global Intelligence Agency does not negotiate with terrorists. So we're done. And that's where That's the world situation report for today. It's going to, events are unfolding every minute that I'm sitting here, talking to you about the news. And so I got to get back to it.
Okay, go back to work. We look forward to Friday's update. Thank you.
Me too.
All right. That wraps up today's news update. Please share UNN with your friends and family. We need everyone to come together and help restore our planet. When news happens in your area, record it and share it with us so we can help you share it with the world. Remember, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I'm Sunny Galt. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the real news.